Hi, me again. Just thought I'd reiterate on a few things I mentioned in part one of this YouTube series, I guess it's going to turn into be. When I mentioned how I was doing the psychic training, and when I first came home I felt like I was suddenly paranoid and had all these people watching me and all these people around me. Something kind of happened a few months later that just opened my eyes and clarified what had actually happened. Now, the two ladies that I mentioned earlier that came round to my house when my son, the Wii U, started, just turned on by itself. One of them, I was sort of having a cup of coffee with her one day and we were chatting, and she was telling me about this meditation session that she had been to. And during this session, she sort of got the feeling that there was another lady there that didn't like her, or had, and I, kind of rang a few alarm bells for me because I had that feeling myself. And then she said, I felt like she had opened me up, but hadn't closed me back down again at the end of the session. Now, being all new to this back then, I didn't understand what she meant. Now, I knew nothing about chakras, I knew nothing about grounding, protection, I knew nothing about anything really. And so I kind of asked her, what do you mean? And she said, well, when you meditate, your chakras open up, and that's kind of how you connect with spirit. You connect with spirit through your crown chakra, through your solar plexus sort of thing. And if you don't close back down again, you can feel a little bit like you've got, really bad anxiety, like you're walking around on edge, jittery, you feel like you've just sort of lost your mind. And it was just like this light bulb moment going off. I'm like, oh my God, I've been walking around for months wide open to spirit pretty much, and had no idea how to close myself down. And so she showed me, and all that kind of horrible feeling pretty much went away. Now, I'm not saying it was perfect, but from then I just started learning about how to open and close your chakras, how to turn off, like when you've done any spiritual work, it's important to switch off. So the really good mentor that I ended up having after all of this, she taught me lights on, lights off pretty much, and it got to the point where I wasn't scared to open up to spirit. I wasn't like I was before, and all those years I'd stopped doing it because I was so terrified to open myself up. It seemed like such a waste, but I guess I just wasn't ready. So chakras, I don't know if you guys know much about them. I'm still learning. I learn every day, but basically the 7 main chakras are start from the base of your spine, and the little energy centers, and they go up into your crown. Same colors as the rainbow, so red, yellow, green. Oh my goodness, I think I need to stop for a minute. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Now, I don't know why that was so difficult for me, because I know that very clearly. Often when you're doing a reading for someone, and if you're looking at doing spiritual work down the track, or you're already doing it and you're looking at enhancing it, if you're doing spiritual work and like doing a reading for someone, and something like that happens where you feel you just can't get the right words, or you're muddled, it quite often means there's some cognitive issue with either the person you're reading or someone close to them. So maybe their mother's got Alzheimer's or dementia, or they've had some sort of brain injury or something along those lines. My mum at the moment is suffering from dementia, so it could be something like that, or it could just be a mental block, I don't know. But I talk with my daughter about the rainbow all the time, so I know those colours off by heart. But anyway, what I do, now I don't know how everyone else does it, but what I do, I imagine them like traffic lights. So there's all these little round lights inside me, and I just imagine them dimming down. Like you've got a dimmer and you're turning it down and they're dimming down. Now, the main one I've had issues with is my solar plexus, which is the yellow one around your liver area. That I feel like that connects to spirit more than your crown chakra or your third eye or anything else. For me, that's where it all happens. And if that's open, you can quite often get that knot in your stomach and feel quite anxious. And I learned from my mentor to how to close that down, how to sustain that, and it made a world of difference for me. So anyway, after all of this kind of happened, it took a long time before I got back into training, and I kind of sort of looked around. I decided I wanted to cleanse my house. I decided I wanted to look into crystals. I've always loved crystals but didn't know much about them. Started Googling them. I found out there was a lady in my town that had a crystal shop and sold things like smudge sticks and all that kind of stuff, and also ran a meditation class. So that was my next stop. I went there, I got myself some crystals, I got a smudge stick, I joined the meditation class, and things pretty much took off from there. I found the more I meditated, the more I could connect with spirit, the clearer things got. So I would say if you were starting out, the main things to learn would be how to meditate. If you have trouble meditating, it's just practice. You just need to learn how to relax. Just keep doing it and keep doing it. It will happen. I was one of these people that could not slow my mind, could not relax, but now I can get into it just like that now. So meditation is key, pretty much. Learning, obviously, how to close down. That would be after you've finished meditating, after you've done any sort of spiritual work. If you've done a reading, you've got to spirit learn when you're working and when you're not working, and they will close you off. But until they get to know your routine and get to know how you work, you kind of got to do it yourself. The other thing is grounding and protection. So grounding's pretty easy, really. It's sort of pulling yourself back down to earth, getting back to nature. So what I do, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll just put you on here. You can see this is my reading room. So I have some crystals over there. I have my meditation music going pretty much all the time when I'm working, and it's usually something to do with nature. So I'll have beach scenes, rolling hills of grass or trees. So I'll just close my eyes, put my feet on the floor and imagine I'm somewhere in nature. And I can literally put my feet in the sand, like in my mind, and I can feel the water washing over my feet. I could feel the grass beneath my feet, things like that. And it's just pulling yourself back down to nature. And as I do that inside my head, I will just say something like, please ground me and center me, surround me in love and light, and keep me safe and protected. You can make it, say your own saying, but that for me, I can actually visualize the light going around me. I can visualize being grounded, being pulled down to earth. Some people imagine roots growing out of the soles of their feet and, just really anchoring them to the earth. I don't need to do that. But if you feel a bit like, if you're meditating, you feel a bit like you're flying off or you feel a bit dizzy, it can be because you're not grounded. So just sort of stop and make sure you're grounded. So that would be my three things I would suggest if you're starting out. Learn how to ground yourself before you start meditating, and visualize your chakras, closing them off afterwards. And then you're pretty safe. You're not going to end up like me, going on for like 2 months feeling like I'm a paranoid schizophrenic with people chasing me. It was a horrible feeling. But I'm lucky. The way it's worked out, I've had people around me that have given me clues. You know, Spirit sends you signs all the time. Speaking of signs, actually, in my last video I talked about how I met my guide, and he did turn out to be my guide. Now, I was a little bit scared of him to start with because he looked quite scary, but I've learned along the way that he's very much on my side and he's there for me. But even though I do this sort of work, being the skeptic that I am, it took me a long time to accept him, and I kept asking for signs, you know, or proof. I needed proof, I guess. So one of the things I did, I was just, I don't know, sitting in my reading room, and I said to him, okay, if you really are my guide, show me a cricket. And I don't know why cricket, and for some reason I seem to pick on insects. Other people pick on flowers or, you know, some other symbols. I seem to pick on insects. And I asked him to show me a cricket. Now, they say that don't expect it to happen straight away. So this can take, you know, a couple of days. It can take 24 hours, whatever. So I kind of asked for the sign, put it out of my head and forgot about it. I went about my day. At 2:30, I went to the school to get ready to pick my daughter up from school. And as I'm walking across the concrete pathway or whatever, this cricket jumps across in front of my feet. And I stood there just staring at it, and I'm like, no way, this can't be right. So anyway, that was the first thing. But that, for some reason, that still wasn't enough for me. I was like, oh, you know, could it just be a coincidence? Could I just be, you know, really wanting it so badly that I'm seeing things? Or maybe there's always crickets there and I haven't noticed it. So now I go home and I thought, okay, that was pretty cool, but could you show me a dragonfly? You know, if you show me a dragonfly, I think I'll really believe in this. And again, I kind of put it out of my mind. I thought, I'll just go outside and I'll check the mail. So I'd heard the mailman go past. I thought I'll go and check the mail. And our mailbox is quite low, so I'm bending down to get the mail, and I see something out of the corner of my eye. And I look, and it was just a bee. So it wasn't a dragonfly. So I thought, oh well, you know, that would have been really cool, but it wasn't. And anyway, as I'm standing up, I see something fly past, and it was a dragonfly. And this dragonfly, it hovered around, it went all around my garden, and I'm rushed inside to get my phone so I could go out and take a photo of this dragonfly. Couldn't get my phone to work, and I'm panicking. I'm like, I've got to people aren't going to believe me unless I can get a photo of this thing. And it wouldn't work, and then in the end I did. I got a photo of it. And I don't know why it was so important to get a photo, but I got a photo of this dragonfly, and I came inside and I was just like blown away. I was like, this has to be real. It's just you can't get coincidences like this, and I even don't really even believe in coincidences. So so that was, now, I mean, I just absolutely love dragonflies. Dragonflies are my thing now. And whenever I'm doubting myself or I'm having a bad day, I'll often see one. It won't always be a one flying around. It'll be a picture of one. I might go somewhere and there's a dragonfly symbol, and I just smile and I think to myself, everything's going to be okay, you know. He's here, he's guiding me, I'm going in the right direction, everything's going to be okay. And that was pretty amazing for me. So that's something else you can do if you're not too sure about something, or you want to ask Spirit a question. You can ask for a sign. Now, it's not always as fantastic as seeing a cricket jump by or a dragonfly. but it's still, sometimes they're a little bit more subtle, but you've really got to watch out for them. Also, you have signs coming that you sort of dismiss or you don't notice, like lights flickering, TV could turn off by itself, or you, like me, you might see an insect all the time, or a bird, or a song. Just think, this could be a sign from Spirit just letting you know that they're there. I don't really believe in coincidence, and they call these things synchronicities. Google it. It's just little coincidences that happen all the time, but they're just too amazing to be a coincidence. Okay, so I think my next video might talk a little bit more about my books and just how they came about, if you're interested in that. And yeah, I'll check in with you later on. Bye.